Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to East Brunswick High School, home of the Bears. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we will honor our senior boys soccer team members and their parents for their commitment and dedication to the soccer program. They have provided us with many enjoyable memories over the years. They will surely be missed, and we wish them much success in their future endeavors. At this time, we would like to individually recognize the seniors and their parents. First is our manager, Mina Moad, and parents Amal and Amin. Next is our manager, Maggie Sharabim, and Father Safwat. Our next senior is our student trainer, Victoria McLean, and her mom, Jody. Our first senior player is Mr. Robert Campos and his parents Angelica and Robert. Our next senior is Brian Chiosi and parents Margaret and Joseph. Our next senior is Corey Diamond and parents Elaine and Ira. Our next senior is Matthew Farag and parents Hala and Ariane. Our next senior is Antonius Fozzi and parents Maggie and Sharif. Our next senior is Brett Handelman and Father Allen. Our next senior is Femi Igbaresi and his mom, Imaniri Amaji. Our next senior is Brian Kirshner and parents Randy and Scott. Our next senior is Michael Morgan and parents Amal Bulus and Adele. Our next senior is Bradley Reiner and parents Shari and Mark. And our final senior is Naru Sato and parents Kazuku and Hideki. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'd ask for one large round of applause for all of our seniors and their parents, thanking them for their years of dedication to East Brunswick soccer.
Good evening and welcome to J. Doyle Field for today's boys soccer matchup. It's senior night here at East Brunswick and the Bears are hosting our good friends from South Brunswick, the Vikings. My name is Frank Noppenberger, I'm your host, and our special guest is the girls' head coach, Mr. Kevin Brady. Kevin, welcome, and tell us about a Red Division matchup, especially from our friends from the South Brunswick.
Well, this is going to be a very exciting matchup between two very strong teams here in Middlesex County. I know South Brunswick got the best of our boys over at South Brunswick High School, but talking to Coach McGibbon before the game, he was very confident with the way his team played that day. Probably a little bad luck found him on that day, but he's looking forward to this challenge and to getting out there on the field with them again and hopefully putting up a little better result. Maybe luck will be on their side tonight.
I know last time we played, Coach said that we outshot him. What we just didn't do is we just didn't get enough goals in there. But the kids are confident. They've been working hard. They know this is important. This, if we win here, they could put us in for a second seed in the GMC. How important is the seeds in the GMC? You've been there where you've been right up near the top and somewhere in the middle, Coach.
Well, I tell you, I think it's very interesting this year in boys soccer, and again, speaking with Mr. McKibben in school frequently, boys soccer in Middlesex County this season, perhaps even more so than other seasons, the top 8, 9, 10 teams all have taken turns beating one another during the course of the year. So I think the seedings, while it may get you a more favorable matchup in an early round game, I think once you get down to the final 8, maybe even the round of 16, I tell you, it's going to be hard-fought soccer for every single one of those games, and I think makes for a very exciting tournament.
I agree. I think it's up for grabs. Anyone can win. And we'll talk later about the girls' soccer, their chances, and my prediction on what seed you'll be and everything else. But we're almost ready to start here. J. Doyle Field. It's a Red Division matchup, and as I said before, a lot of weight is put on this game, not only just the state tournament, but certainly the GMC tournament, which we'll talk about later.
You know, I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to see the boys play tonight. Spending as much time as I do with the girls, I've had a few chances to see the boys play. A very exciting game against St. Joe's a few weeks ago. The speed of play in the boys game really is an eye-opener for me, and it's a fun brand of soccer to get to watch once in a while, something I'm not as used to.
Mm-hmm. Coach, the last time I was here, I was with Coach. I was with Coach McKibben, and we were talking about the importance of the first 5 minutes of the first 5 minutes of the game. And what's going on here? Did they feeling one another out here? Is it just a see what's going on, or is someone really going to go after it?
Well, I mean, you're always looking for one opportunity. You saw Mike Morgan a few moments ago serve that dangerous ball into the box. You're always looking for a quick opportunity and a quick strike. And sometimes in a soccer game, those opening moments can be very dangerous. If you can jump on an unsuspecting opponent, or if you misplay a ball because you're not all the way warm or all the way loose or all the way focused, that gives you an opportunity for a quick strike. But I think a lot of times you see teams getting used to not just each other and not just speed of play, but simple things such as the ball and the field. I mean, and that's just as real as getting used to one another.
Right, I agree. So here we go. It's we're about 1 minute in, but we've had a couple nice opportunities.
Beautiful stuff. You saw a nice little cut move there from number 3 for East Brunswick, making that run down the right flank. That was Mike Morgan again, getting very dangerous there. Chopped the ball, beating his defender with the inside of his right foot. Got it really nicely and quickly onto his left foot. Struck the ball just over the goal. But a real good. They've already had 2 good looks at the South Brunswick goal, and this is what Coach McKibben talked about in the last meeting as well. A lot of chances, a lot of opportunities, and I know he's going to be very excited to be the first team to find the net tonight.
Well, speaking of Mike Morgan, Mike's a senior, and Coach thinks he's plays the ball in the air a lot, very well off his head. He's been using it as an attack to score many big goals for us this season. He's also a very talented defender, and usually stands up to the opponent's best forward. So, Mike, it's a pleasure watching you, and good luck in the upcoming tournaments.
I know Coach talked early in the year. I think he had a 2 or 3 goals on set pieces that were game-deciding goals.
Right at the end of the game.
Yeah, real strong, getting his head onto the loose balls.
Just like any other sport, Coach, for some of the people who maybe are novice to soccer, the idea is to bring the ball down the side, put it in the middle of the field, and increase your chances of. It sounds simple, but a lot more difficult than it sounds.
Oh, sure. And a lot of times the reason you'll see teams try to attack the flank is a simple numbers game. You know, if you look at the field during any moment of the game, the majority of the players are going to be in the middle of the field. So if you're looking to get into a one-on-one situation, or even a numbers up, a two-on-one situation, you need to get the ball out to the flank where there's less traffic. Then you can use your speed. Then you can use your touch a little bit easier than when there's 5 yellow shirts surrounding you in the middle of the field.
The major difference between... There's another nice serve, huh?
Here on this crossbar. And then over the top. Wow, that was a big opportunity. Goalkeeper, I believe, tipped that into the crossbar. The goalkeeper tonight for South Brunswick is Chris D'Souza, and that was a point-blank shot and opportunity. And I tell you, East Brunswick looks quicker to the ball in the box so far tonight. They've got two South Brunswick defenders had a chance to clear that ball. The East Brunswick attacker stepped aggressively to the ball and found the shot, and that's what it takes to score a goal in the box.
Seems like the same thing going on down at South Brunswick, where we're getting shots, but they're just not going in.
That was some great organization there. I want to see if I can get his number. I think it's number 5. Yeah, that was Rob Campos at the top of the box, just being a smart player, finding open space at the top of the 18-yard line, or the penalty area. He was sitting there in space, waiting for the ball, trusting that the ball would find him, and a well-organized box will lead to shots and opportunities on goal.
Rob is also one of our outstanding seniors, and he also has the privilege of being one of the captains. He had a great junior year, and Coach feels that makes him a marked man in the GMC. Coach feels he's responded by making his teammates better players with the use of his vision and passing skills. Rob, we wish you the best of luck, and we've enjoyed watching you play over the years.
And I think you see that a lot of times in both the boys and the girls game. When you have a player who puts up a large, here's going to be a big throw from the side, and you can tell by that run up, a rocket throw. Well defense in the air. Number 14 by East Brunswick, that's Chris Fawsey, getting up in the air above the South Brunswick attacker and heading the ball up and out of play. One of the things we work on with our defensive players is heading that ball in the defensive box up and out. You want to get the ball up away from attacker's feet and redirect it in the direction that your team's heading as quick as possible. So get up in the air, head those clearing balls up and away.
A lot more difficult than it sounds, all right?
Oh, sure. Especially with 3 players running full speed right at you as you're trying to make that jump and clearance.
Well, we're 5 minutes in this GMC Red Division contest. A beautiful night at East Brunswick High School, and it remains a scoreless game.
Yeah, it was a little bit warm out today. But having the night game tonight, you're sort of rolling the dice sometimes in mid-October playing it in the evening, because you can have one of those Friday and Saturday. Think about this week. We're very cool weather days and evenings. They've got a nice night for soccer tonight.
The rumor was about how cold it was Saturday. You even cut practice short a little bit. Any truth to that rumor, Coach?
I can't remember ever cutting practice short.
Tell us about your game today. What was it, 3-zip?
Yeah, we were fortunate to have a nice chance. Yeah, number 12. That was number 12 for East Brunswick is Brett Handelman with a nice little rip. It went off a little bit off the outside of his foot. That's why you saw that tailing action at the end. But yeah, we had a nice performance, a 3-0 victory. South Brunswick is a tough team. Carly Brining for us hit a beautiful goal. Maybe the goal of the season so far for us. Just a real nice driven ball from the corner. Found the back of the net. Just a real nice moment for her. And gave us a chance. And another shutout for the girls, which is something our defense really prides itself in holding the defender scoreless, or holding the other team scoreless.
Am I to congratulate you, Coach? Did we clinch the division with that? Or
yes, we did. Yeah, actually, Red Division Championship.
Great.
So
congratulations on your first year. I know that's
it's always the first goal. First goal.
Yep. And never take it for granted, Coach.
Yep, we never do. I mean, we're, coaching in the GMC before, you learn very easily how hard it is to win division championships. And, East Brunswick has had a very strong tradition of winning nearly every division championship in girls soccer. But that's something that the moment you take it for granted is when you get caught and picked off from behind. So it's something that we really we stress with our girls is focusing on every moment in every game.
Who do we have next, Coach?
We're going to take on Old Bridge, a very strong Old Bridge team, which was the focus of a Star Ledger article on Monday about how they are the team to watch right now. So we'll get an up-close look at them as they get ready to peak in time for tournament season.
And that's down at Old Bridge, and there was a change in that time for our audience out there. That would be a 5 o'clock start.
That's for the boys' game, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, the girls' game will be playing here at 3:45. Another big throw in here. This is going to be one of those dangerous moments. Let's see if we can get a good clearance on this. We very strong, East Brunswick was, to get up in the air and clear that last one. Let's see. The box is well organized. I can see that. Players man marking shoulder to shoulder on every player. That ball came down to the ground, which gets dangerous. It gets dangerous. The goalkeeper, Zach Stahl, doing a nice job jumping and pouncing on that loose ball. And that's what you need your goalkeeper to do. If you don't get that initial clearance, control your box, control your area.
Very aggressive young man. He's a sophomore, I believe.
Yes, and that's tough. I mean, in boys soccer, even more so than girls, I think it's harder for underclassmen just because of the size difference in boys from age 14 to 17. It's a lot. It's very difficult for a younger player to crack a lineup. So for him, as at goalkeeper, a very physically demanding position as well, for him to be able to step in there as a sophomore gives Coach McGibbon a real strong hope for the next 3 years of soccer here at East Brunswick High School.
But that's kind of relaxing. It's like having a sophomore shortstop, but you and your career as the very successful softball coach has had at East Brunswick is when you get someone in there, it's kind of relaxing.
Oh, sure. When you know they're going to be there for a couple of years, yeah, they're a very calming influence on the rest of the team, and especially in goal. That's a position like shortstop. I heard you actually mentioning that watching the DVD of our last broadcast of the girls' senior night a few weeks ago. You were talking about the similarity between goalkeeper and shortstop or center field in a baseball game. And I think you do see a lot of that kind of presence that has to have the whole game and whole field in front of them and really do a nice job controlling that.
Okay, we're 10 minutes in, and it still remains a scoreless game here. But I think the Bears are showing a lot out here because I think we're applying pressure to them. But again, if you don't put it in goal, put men on base and don't score, it doesn't count.
Sure, I bet you
I don't
know
want to
that
hear
quite
about
well,
it.
don't you,
I don't
Mr.
want to hear about it.
Noppenberger?
We just want to spread the wealth around.
No, I understand. You have to let somebody else
win the World Series.
Another
right?
baseball. Yeah, let somebody, right? Because, you guys won one in around, 2000?
Okay.
Oh, there's a dangerous ball, and well saved by Zach Stahl. And you notice
how difficult is that? Is he's reading that ball and moving as the ball moves,
Sure,
right?
and I think one of the important things on that was his vision line. He was able to keep himself in a good spot, not get really screened by the East Brunswick defenders. Kept himself in a good spot. A low hard shot is difficult on a goalkeeper. He did a nice positioning, stayed down, stayed behind the ball, and didn't give up a rebound, which is important as well.
Following up on the ball is very similar to basketball. You got to follow up shots. I mean, you look at that all the time. A shot goes and everyone turns their head and watch, then reacts. I think that's what you're referring to by him holding the ball rather than having a rebound come off.
And that's a dangerous area when the shot comes right from front. That was definitely South Brunswick's best chance of the game so far, having a shot from about 15 to 18 yards out in the front.
Tell us about the styles of each team. Is it a similar type style of soccer here, or is one more of a control, short passing, or?
Well, it's a little early for me to determine that right now. I would say both teams at the moment seem to be similar in style. I think East Brunswick's done a little bit better with the possession of the ball. This field's slightly narrow. You will find some wider fields in non-football fields in the GMC, soccer-specific fields. So that might have a slight factor in the amount of possession. But I tell you, I think honestly, East Brunswick, you saw a nice little overlap there by 14. Let's see. Oh, he's going to get a foul call. But that's, you know what? That's a spot we don't mind giving up a foul. I think it was a foul. It may have been out of bounds, but I think it was a foul. You don't mind your forward going hard after a ball there, perhaps picking up a foul, but he's aggressively in the box. The risk reward there, if you can strip the ball cleanly, you're going to have a shot on goal. If you give a foul because you were slightly over aggressive, or if he turned and you give him a little nudge in the back, I'll tell you, a free kick, 115 yards away from your own goal isn't the worst thing in the world.
Nice move there by number 6.
Yeah, that's Evan Brandsdorfer, who's showed a nice bit of skill on the play before too.
saw a neat little, I think it was actually Campos, number 5, a neat little behind his leg, like little scissor pass that led them onto their last chance forward. Real neat bit of individual flair from Campos. It was about 30 seconds ago before this attack.
Like give and go there.
Yeah, sure. And Bransdorf doing a good job of keeping his width, and I'm sure that's something that Coach McGibbon preaches, keeping wide in the outside midfield where you can attack in on a strong angle. And you see that was able to generate a corner kick for the Bears, which...
We got a corner here, kicked by who's that, Brett? Is that Brett
12, yeah, I believe that's Brett Handelman.
Whoa.
Nice chance, yep, a nice win there. Won the ball just over the bar. But I tell you, East Brunswick has already shown an ability to get on the ball in South Brunswick's box. So I think that bodes well for future scoring chances. That was Mike Morgan, right, number 3?
Right. If you take a look at our scores, especially boys soccer, we've been in every game, Coach.
Sure.
So I'm hoping we're one of those teams that gets hot at tournament time. Because I'm not sure if we can win the red division, but we can certainly come in second place. We got St. Joe's coming up too.
And still Old Bridge should play too, right, on Thursday? So this is a big week for Coach McGibbon and the boys. You see Corey Diamond making a nice little head onto himself and getting a nice attack.
Shot.
Yeah, a little bit. Got away from him a little bit, but a good, dangerous attack.
Well, my philosophy is shoot. Like in basketball, you got to shoot the ball. It's not going to go in unless you shoot it.
Yeah, if you play a dangerous ball in there, now, more so in that case, I think from his angle. Now, I mean, I do like the idea of the shot from there, but even from his angle, if he can play a dangerous ball, if he has, if there are a lot of white shirts in the box at that moment, that can lead to chances too. But you just want to put as much danger and as much pressure in your opponent's penalty area and look to create something. And in the physical game that is boys soccer, you can generate penalty kicks that way too.
We have 25 minutes remaining. It's still a scoreless tie at this red division game. It's East Brunswick, if you're just joining us, versus the Vikings of South Brunswick in senior night here at East Brunswick. Our season is just about concluding, and we're getting ready for tournament time. In the past, tournament time has been East Brunswick's favorite time, and I'm joined by our very successful girls soccer coach, Mr. Kevin Brady, whose team is, just as we announced before, won the red division today.
Yeah, we still have one more division game to be played against Old Bridge, and then we're on to a couple forays outside the division.
Well, we got Petty, and we got Sayreville, and that'll be good.
Petty,
that'll
and
be
Woodbridge coming up on Saturday. So 3 good outside of division contests. Wonderful job of scheduling. Finding us some good opportunities to help prepare us for what promises to be an exciting and challenging postseason tournament season.
And the GMC semis, let me announce, are going to be held down at Heavenly Farms.
Oh,
the township was nice enough to help us out with that. So the boys in the semis will both be played on the same day down there on the 28th. And that'll be like at 11 and 1 o'clock. And hopefully both boys and girls will be in there.
You see South Brunswick seems to have made a slight adjustment in their defense. They're dropping maybe not a true sweeper, but dropping a player back. I think East Brunswick has been so dangerous early on in this game that they're playing a little safer in the back, dropping deep and making sure every defender is supported well. And here you can have a nice chance for East Brunswick. You were talking about Morgan before getting on the end of these balls. Here's a nice dangerous ball from about 30, I'd say about 32 yards out. Let's see.
Brett making that kick there.
Yep. Let's see if he can get a nice serve.
Looks good.
That's dangerous.
Baby.
And it's still alive. Ball's still alive. Dangerous ball back in. Corey Diamond with a nice little, let's call it a half a bicycle kick.
Is that like a Pele or a Brady?
Sure, yeah. Well, Brady. I tried to demonstrate that once. I couldn't walk for 2 months after.
Where does that become dangerous, though? That all judgment, right?
I tell you, honestly, I hate to see that called dangerous play. If you have a player within... Now, if his foot comes near a defender's face, That's the only time it should be called. But we want to reward creativity and flair. And if a player can do that within the area of his own body, I think we've got to let him play. We want our players to be encouraged to play brilliantly.
Nice pass.
Yeah, that is. And
Right,
we have
Brad.
a player running on the end of it, nearly. But yeah, going back to that, playing a bicycle and stuff, you want to see players try to find the edge of what they can do and try to push past it. So I don't think that should be called dangerous in almost every opportunity, unless of course it endangers a player who's running right next to his foot.
I'd like to congratulate both teams right now. I think it's a well-played game. It's clean. That's maybe the third or fourth whistle we've had.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a very clean soccer game.
Right. A lot of emotions, and again, I applaud the players because there's a lot of emotions when East Brunswick plays South Brunswick in soccer. Nice cross.
And another nice cross. That could be it. Oh, almost. Boy, two players had a nice shot at finishing that ball coming across.
Boy, that's frustrating, huh? As a coach, you see that, and you're just hoping someone gets there at the right time.
And just at that moment, just a flick, just a touch could have directed it on goal. But that's what this game can be. I mean, it can be a lot of build and a lot of frustration as you work toward that one moment where you can get your strike.
Well, I don't think he called a handball there because we maintained possession, or what?
I believe so. It could have been.
There we go.
Good chance. I believe a lot of referees. It was funny before one game last week. One of the referees said to both teams. He said, 90% of the balls that touch your hand are not handballs. I mean, there has to be intent, and you have to gain an advantage from it. If both of those conditions aren't met, he said he was not going to call it. Now refs have some different interpretation on that as well. But yeah, I mean, they're looking at the fact that, did he intend to play with? Is he gaining an advantage by looking to intend it? Play a little extra shoulder, a little extra, forearm into the ball.
Well, the Bears way back won a state championship against Randolph with a handball. The young lady, the ball's going at her, she pushed down on it, so I guess to avoid it so it wouldn't hit her. And it was in the box, and we put it in, and we won the state championship down there at College in New Jersey.
Yeah, and I think one of the more famous goals in World Cup history, Diego Maradona for Argentina, and the Hand of God goal. I believe it was against England. I'm not positive about that. Here's a chance, a poorly played defensive ball. Nicely cleaned up by the South Brunswick defender, but that was good damage.
Covered well on that to kill.
Yeah, and now we have a corner kick, which is a great opportunity. High school boys soccer, you see a lot of your goal-scoring chances come from set pieces. It's difficult in free play. You're able to get a lot of numbers behind the ball in free play, but here we see an opportunity where, on a set piece, East Brunswick has already proven very dangerous in this game.
About 20 minutes left in the first half. Another corner kick there by, that was Brett.
I believe it was Handelman, yeah. And you saw Corey Diamond get up in the air above all of the South Brunswick defenders, get his head on that. And I think what you're seeing, the positive sign that you've got to take out of this in the first half for East Brunswick is they're getting their head on every one of those corner kicks. So South Brunswick defense is either not going up as aggressively, or East Brunswick is just well organized and getting on the end of that ball. And like I said, if that continues to happen, East Brunswick will score goals in this game.
I think you're right. I think we just keep pounding them. Eventually, we're going to get there. Speaking of Brett Hadelman, he's also a senior co-captain. Coach is very impressed with his man-to-man defense, especially from the black back line. He's a very versatile player for the Bears, and his contributions he's provides opportunities for the other players. Another team player. Brett, congratulations on an outstanding career and good luck to you.
So a nice chance there by Mike Morgan, again getting forward. He's very dangerous out of that. He's playing in a defensive position as an outside back or a marking back position, but really seems to naturally fly forward and join the attack. And that can be difficult for a defender or a team defense, to read, because when you have backs flying forward and joining the attack, there becomes that moment of hesitation as to who organizationally is going to pick him up. And if you can get a moment of pause in defense, you can have a real strong chance.
The game's moving along, but it's amazing. It's the last 3 minutes when you're losing, or winning, I should say, is that it'll last forever,
Sure.
It just doesn't go fast enough. And then if you're behind, it goes too fast. Good defensive play there by number 11.
And I think the pace of this game has been quick. I mean, there's been a lot of skill on display, and specifically by East Brunswick, a lot of strong organization and strong chances forward. And you've seen them vary their attacks too. They've been attacking on the ground through good passing. They've been attacking through the air. So they're definitely doing a nice job of, in a way, sparring with the South Brunswick defense, giving themselves lots of looks and forcing the defenders to, in fact, defend. And this is tough as a coach, too. In this position where you've controlled play, and you know that a lot of what you're doing is working. It's generating the chances and the opportunities that you want. It can be frustrating there, too, when you don't get them. Number 4 for East Brunswick entering the game is Femi Igbarese.
Femi is also one of our seniors, and he's got a great positive attitude. The kids really like his personality, and coach feels that he's a great defender for us and has made great contributions to us throughout this year, and coach looks for him to play big during tournament time.
Here's a quick counterattack by South Brunswick that could prove dangerous. They're getting some numbers forward for one of really the only times this half. East Brunswick really has controlled and had the more aggressive and offensive shape so far. Corey Diamond clears the ball upfield, out of bounds.
Well, again, I just have to mention, I just applaud both teams, Coach Chris Hastings and Coach McKibben, for their play of their athletes. They just came here to play soccer, and there's no nonsense out there. It's great to see. Too often, soccer gets a bad rap. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was a dangerous moment. Trying to pick it on the defender. It still is a dangerous moment. I'm going to try to pick out the East Brunswick player. I have my eye on him. I can't quite make out his number. It might have been Fawzi there in the middle, who did a nice job really to disrupt that ball. That ball sat in the East Brunswick box for longer than any coach wants to see it. And you know, that South Brunswick putting some pressure on caused that to happen. It was number 15 for East Brunswick before. That was Chris Hajar in the center defensively, who really did a nice job disrupting what proved to be a dangerous moment for the Vikings.
We have 14 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, and it's still a scoreless game. And the good thing about it is the Bears are still in it. I guess the bad thing is that we've been getting our shots, but they're just not getting it going in right now.
Now, I mean, as a coach, what do you think about what South Brunswick's mentality might be here? They have a lead. They are in first place in the division at this moment. Do you think they're playing a defensive, maybe a try-to-tie kind of thing?
Actually, you said it before, how they're like a reaction team, that they wait for an opportunity. I remember them beating us here a few years ago in the same way, that they look for the opportunity.
So they're a little content to counterattack, like?
Yeah, they like that counterattack. Now, not being a big soccer guy or strategist in that regard, I'm not sure if that's what Chris is doing over there. But they did have a couple nice opportunities. Not many, but good ones. Hey, they've been around. They're a good team. They know what they're doing. They probably don't have the urgency we have, being senior night and looking for a second division finish. And
I do believe they've lost one, right? I think South Brunswick has lost one in the division. I'm not positive about that. I know I've read in the paper a few times as I check out the Saturday high school sports section of the Home News Tribune. You read a lot about the shape of soccer in in Middlesex County.
Right.
And
Well,
I know Zach Zenda, number 10, who's on the ball right now for South Brunswick, has been mentioned quite favorably in a few articles.
Well, I always said Middlesex County soccer is pretty good, so I'm not sure if they get the due recognition throughout the state. But we sometimes beat up on each other. I mean, you look at Monroe. For boys, this is Monroe, North Brunswick, Sayreville,
Sure.
South Brunswick, and East Brunswick. Play with anyone in the state.
Well, yeah, how about taking a look at East Brunswick's out-of-conference schedule? Early in the year, a victory over Scotch Plains, which was widely considered one of the top teams in the state. Victory over Westfield, which I believe was a power in,
Right.
in
And they just
Union
beat,
County.
yesterday they beat
Yeah.
undefeated. Look at this.
There's a nice chance.
Somebody!
Oh, very good ball. Very, very good ball by number 6. That was Bransdorfer, right? Yes, Evan Bransdorfer serving the ball across. Femi Igbaresi nearly got his foot on the other end of that. Another good, dangerous ball, though. Again, East Brunswick going to continue to mount this attack, going to force South Brunswick to defend. And defenders, while they're comfortable in the box for a little while, you don't want to be spending your whole game, in front of your own goal face. So,
You relax 1 second, and that's it, right?
sure. And plus, that's stopping them from getting themselves forward into dangerous attacking shape. So,
And it's the old, story that if you let the underdog hang around, which we are tonight, they start believing in themselves, and
Sure.
then the other team starts playing afraid to lose. So everything's going in our favor with 10 minutes to go here in this GMC contest.
It's interesting you mentioned the role of underdog. I mean, as a new coach to soccer here at East Brunswick High School.
Excuse me, Coach. You're not going to be an underdog for a long time.
That's my question. I was going to ask you, do you ever think that East Brunswick soccer takes the role of underdog? You mentioned it tonight. I don't know if these kids believe that they're an underdog tonight. Perhaps the division record, says otherwise by a game. But I kind of feel that when our kids step on the field, they are prepared to win. They expect to win. They have a very professional, very strong and positive attitude, and I think that carries them nicely on the field.
I agree 100%, especially they believe they can win. We're very confident. All of our soccer teams have been very confident. But the problem is everybody gets up for you.
Of course,
You beat East Brunswick in soccer, and that means something.
Now, when we fell to Westfield a couple weeks ago, our last loss, as a matter of fact.
Let me interrupt. How about that first time in 10 years, was that?
Longer. Since 1990, since Coach Brady was a young man.
And I'm not sure if we've played every year, but I'm pretty sure if we haven't, we've missed maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And my hat's off to Westfield. They've always wanted to play us. Some schools don't. But Eddie Trakina, their AD, and I have a great rapport together, and always will play boys and girls soccer when possible.
And here was the thing that I noticed in that game. And, we've won some games this season, and we're excited and happy to win. But when Westfield beat us, you could see the jubilation in all of their players. It was as if they had won the World Cup at that moment. And, you have to give a team credit for coming out with that much passion and fire to win a ball game. And that just shows how every team wants to say at least once in their life they've beaten East Brunswick in something. So that's what we have to recognize as coaches and players. Yeah, here's a nice chance in space and a great shot, and here's the finish.
Through in.
There it is. I think this is going to be called off. This is going to be called off. And I tell you, honestly, I disagree with the call, and I'm going to have to check the replay later. But that ball, the ball came to him off of the rebound. I do not believe he was in the offside position when the ball was shot. Now, again, that referee has a far better angle than I do on this, but I will at least have the benefit of a rewind button when I watch this tape.
Well, that's the other thing is that isn't that all up into interpretation also, the offsides rule?
Well, yeah, if he gained an advantage, the referee, by raising his arm and blowing the whistle, the referee determined that he gained, nice chance down the line too, that he gained an advantage from being in an offside position. Now, again, my question on the offside position was when the ball was shot from 25 yards away, I don't believe he was in an offside position. So, I mean...
The first shot.
Yeah, which is when it would be determined.
Even on the rebound.
Even on the rebound, because it's did he gain an advantage from being in the offside position at the time? If he's offside as the goalie parries the ball out, that doesn't matter because the ball's already been served by your attacking player.
it's a fast-moving game, and
Sure.
I applaud the officials too, because it's very difficult.
And that's a moment. I mean, you have that split second where that determination is made. And 2 refs in high school. That doesn't make it. I actually watched a game here a week ago. I think it might have been a JV level game where they actually had a 3 ref system. Oh, nicely defended. That was ball goes out of bounds. Yep, it was 15 again. Let's give him some more credit in the middle. Chris Hajar, another nice, well tackled there in the box, and again erasing what could have been a dangerous moment.
Chris Hajar, one of our other underclassmen. You know, we got a nice mix of upperclassmen and underclassmen. Not sure what's going on here, Coach.
Yeah, I think there was some question as to which way. I think the ball was played out of bounds by South Brunswick. However, the ref in a moment, I think a lot of people were confused on the field of what the whistle meant. The ref was actually calling a foul against East Brunswick before the ball went out of bounds. So I think that's what you see here. We're going to see South Brunswick with a look at a set piece here for probably maybe the first time this half.
Nice curl in there.
And I tell you, East Brunswick, again, first to ball in the air. I think that's something that the kids, have done a real nice job controlling the air. Offensively and defensively in this half.
Nice feet there, Brett. Oh, boy.
Oh, one more to beat. I love the attack, though. You have to have exactly. You have to be aggressive as an offensive player in a game where frequently 80 minutes are played and 1 goal is scored. You have to have the confidence and the desire to take a ball at the goal as aggressively as you can, knowing that one play can be the difference in the game.
Especially the confidence.
Sure.
To me, that's it. That you want the ball. It's like the shortstop. I want you to hit the ball to me, or the batter that wants to be at bat, or the running back saying, give me the ball.
Yeah, you have to be the kid. I think you have to be the kid on the field who says, hey, I want that breakaway. I'm not, this is a dangerous chance, and that's a goal for South Brunswick. After all the control, and I tell you what, a lot of the East Brunswick players feel that there may have been some offside there.
Well, we saw the one young man raise his hand looking for that.
Yep.
Raising his hand, maybe, I don't know. So that goal was scored with about 5:20 to go. And that makes it 1-0 in favor of the Vikings. Again, like I said a few years ago, a counterattack just like that, bing.
Yeah, and there hasn't been. That was the only time they really got behind the East Brunswick defense. For the most part, the game has been played in front of the East Brunswick defense.
I agree. Well, as my good friend Don Weeder, gymnastics coach, said, it takes a champion to come from behind. So let's see what we're made of here, Bears.
Yeah, and this perhaps the most difficult sport to come from behind in a lot of ways, because you can create a more defensive shape to hold a 1-0 lead, and you will see teams do that frequently. It's one of perhaps the criticisms of soccer at the highest levels is the amount of defending that goes on in a 1-0 game.
Right, once you get up. There was a guy years ago from Edison, his name was Eddie Primka, I think, or Prinka. The word was once he got up, 1-0, he put everyone back in the box and just played defense. And 1-0, he'd win the game. That's when corner kicks determined the winner of a tie game.
Wow.
How about that? I read that. It's not that I'm that old. I read that.
Well, I remember some club tournaments where corner kicks were a criteria for advancing to a next round as a tiebreaker. But
that used to determine the winner in the tie game when Leon Floric was here. Our first soccer coach. Actually, our second. Whitey Waldorf was the first men's soccer coach. Little trivia there.
Wow.
And you were our second.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? We at East Brunswick had one soccer coach for how many years is that? 26?
Yep.
Is my math correct on that? 1980 through 2005. And just I've mentioned this before in newspaper articles. But the tremendous support that Lucas continues to show the girls program coming down to the games, and the kids frequently ask about him and love to, it's like they pick him out. They have him on radar when he shows up at the game. They'll run up to him to say hi, and always has had such kind words for me when I was coaching. When I was coaching in Spotswood High School, he would always seek me out in the hallway after school and ask me how I was doing and find me after a tough loss and give me some words of support, really. Just a great man.
Class act. Yeah. He was great for East Brunswick.
Yep, and still is in a lot of ways.
We got about 2 minutes to go. They keep the official clock on the floor, on the field. And it's a 1-0 game in the favor of the Vikings.
If you can't help but feel slightly, that East Brunswick has been quite unfortunate with the development of that goal chance. But now it's important here in the last minute or two not to give up. Yeah, not
the last 5 minutes of the game again.
And you don't want to give up something dangerous here, especially as well as they have played up to this moment. You're going to have a call here that could be interesting. This could go against East Brunswick by the way the referee is coming in late. And it is. He's going to call this against East Brunswick a foul. This is a very dangerous moment right now.
Wow, that's just right outside the box, isn't it?
Yep, this is going to be very dangerous here. And you're in the final moments of this first half of play. It was interesting the way the referee did that. He blew the whistle, ran all the way to the ball, and then gave the signal. I always wonder as a coach if the referee's weighing the decision at that moment as he jogs over.
As they're running in.
Yeah. Wow, dangerous, very nice, dangerous bending ball by South Brunswick. But I tell you, Zach Stahl had that covered, I believe. I mean, if it had a lot more bend at the end, it was going to be trouble. But I thought East Brunswick did an excellent job of organizing their wall. They had the near post covered off, which is that's what you really want to do on that wall. Take half the goal for your goalkeeper, or a portion of your goal for a goalkeeper, and then let him have the other side. Give him a specific responsibility or area of space to cover, and that From that you can defend well on a free kick. Although those tricky bending balls can be difficult no matter how your wall is set up.
Right. It's just amazing how they can put the ball where they want.
It is.
And this is at the high school level.
Sure.
When you see
it's amazing.
Pro level, at international level, outstanding.
And it's just the gent. I mean, it's hitting the ball just the slightly off center that creates that tough ball. Wow. East Brunswick may have caught a break there. South Brunswick had two attackers really marked by one defender on the outside there. And they took a quick shot. Had that ball gone in, that would have been a very tough end to this half. As it is right now, I think Coach McGibbon has to be confident with the way the first 35 minutes of the half went. There's been some nervous moments here in the last few minutes. But if they can continue to pressure, I think they do stand a strong chance of getting that equalizer. It does have to shake your confidence, though, a little bit, giving up one at the end.
Well, they still got plenty of time to mount an attack here.
Great hustle there by, I think that was Femi, right? Chasing that ball down, saving it inbounds, and keeping the ball alive for East Brunswick. That was going to be a South Brunswick throw-in, but saved nicely. And you see East Brunswick benefiting from that here, able to generate an attack and getting some players forward. And now you see South Brunswick really with 9 players behind the ball.
Nice play by Brad.
Yeah, nifty little turn by 11 there for East Brunswick.
Tough kid.
What
do you think? We got a shot?
A little bit high, but not a bad look. Not a bad look. 11 for East Brunswick. Yeah, that was Brad Reiner with a nice little carry through the middle there. And we saw on the shot for East Brunswick.
Brad's also a member of our basketball team.
Oh, really?
Got one of the point guards, and I'm sure he's going to be competing for a starting position.
Nice. And that was number 2, Matt Farag, who hit that dangerous shot. That whistle is going to mark your end of the first half.
That's the end of the half. It's a 1-0 game for the Vikings of South Brunswick. But, although they're up, I thought maybe we had the better play in the first half, Coach.
Yeah, I think as far as dangerous chances would go, I had about 6 for East Brunswick, and I had 2 for South Brunswick. So we want to keep that going in that direction.
Well, I'm sure that's what he's going to be telling them. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute for the second half of this senior night at East Brunswick High School. Okay, we're back here at J. Doyle Field. The Red Division matchup between the Bears of East Brunswick and the Vikings of South Brunswick. It's a 1-0 lead for South Brunswick. We got 40 minutes to go here at senior night. I'm Frank Noppenberger, your host, and I'm joined by our girls coach, Mr. Kevin Brady. As you know, the Bears will be going from right to left, and the Vikings will be going the opposite. It seems that the Bears had the better of the first half with shots on goal. However, the Vikings made the most important goal, and that's the one that went in. Before we get going, Coach, I'd like to just thank the East Brunswick Vipers. That's our ball boys out there, and all the help they give us for this, helping this game go along. As a matter of fact, they're there every game, every home game, varsity JV helping out. And hopefully in a few years, those Vipers will be up here helping out the playing for the Bears. So again, Vipers, to your coach, we thank you. Coach, who was that goal scored by them?
That was number 10, Zach Zenda. We were actually talking about him in the first half. He has scored a lot of goals for South Brunswick this year and really took advantage of an opportunity, a break chance, really. Got behind the East Brunswick defense and slotted it home.
Okay, there's number 20. That's a fresh face out there.
They're on the end of this, though. They still have a chance. Campos did a nice job. Rob Campos down the side. Number 20 for East Brunswick was senior defender Brian Chiosi making that run down the left flank. And here you have a corner kick for East Brunswick, and they've been very dangerous in this. One of the things I was talking to Coach about at halftime was that they have been on every ball in the air, and of course, now that I say that, South Brunswick gets the clearance. Now this is initially dangerous here for a moment. And I know Coach is concerned about this because now East Brunswick has to be a little more attacking in shape, trying to go back and get the equalizer. But that makes you more susceptible to a counterattack chance, which it seems is how South Brunswick wanted to play that first half.
Somebody down there, and hopefully he's okay. Well, he probably got bopped in the head there.
Looks like it. It looked like he got knocked down kind of in transition. The South Brunswick defender was attempting to run back to play the ball, and I think the East Brunswick player, and I think that is Campos, I think he just kind of got clipped by the defender who was running back, not at him, but at the other player, at the player with the ball. So I think he got kind of caught in the crossfire there for a moment.
Okay, that was a call that I guess the Bear fans weren't real supportive of.
Yeah, I don't know. It couldn't have been offside. I don't. Actually, no, it was a foul because the referee's hand is not up. So it is direct kick for South Brunswick.
All right,
so
let's
a
give
push in the box there.
Give a little history on one of our other senior captain. That's Corey Diamond. Corey Diamond sacrificed considerable glory this year by moving from his natural defensive position, where he has drawn a lot of attention from schools, to attacking midfield position to help the Bears' offense. He stepped up with a strong offensive season for the Bears, and that's all according to Coach McKibben. And there's Corey as we see him.
Right on the ball, as you mentioned.
And good luck to you, Corey. Nice pass, a little give and go. Nice left
Oh, good ball by Campos. Nearly just looking for a player, probably on the back post. Tried to sneak it in. You never know if you can catch a goalkeeper napping and overplaying the cross. Maybe you can sneak one in the near post. From that angle, real tough for that to happen, but you never know. Force goalkeeper to make a play. We've seen East Brunswick have several chances on the back post, balls that were just not able to kind of find the finisher on the back end. So I think you see Campos maybe looking to sneak one in there on the early side.
Seems like we're still applying the pressure that first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree.
Of the first game, and it's good that the Bears came out with a little fire, which I knew they would.
Yeah, and I think the thing you have to beware now at this point is just overall frustration. I mean, it's frustrating, outplaying a team for 35 minutes to then, well, here's a chance in the air. Oh, no, almost. Another dangerous ball in the air that's won by East Brunswick, and we've seen that's a pattern that began to emerge early in the first half and has continued here.
Nehru Sato, one of our other senior co-captains. Nehru would have been a third-year starter at East Brunswick, and those that know East Brunswick soccer know how difficult that is. But he had a real knee problem this year. Knee injury ended up halting the season before it got started. It's a huge disappointment to him and his family. But he's a class act. His parents are wonderful people, and I'm sure he'll overcome that. And best of luck to him in the future.
Sure, he's a fine English student as well, I'll have you know.
Well, I
One
bet.
of the students in my class. An honors student in English. Excellent, hardworking kid. And I tell you, that's one of the tough things. You see it often in athletics. A player has to deal with facing an injury. And it's quite a challenge and a strain on the player and the family at the same time.
So it's a lot more difficult than you think, you know, as a senior. Missing your senior year is something you always look forward to.
Sure. And that's defender Tony Fozzie entering the game, number 17. Entering for number 3, who may have been sent off there, Mike Morgan. I'm not sure. I think he may have been cautioned at that moment on the far side.
Okay, Tony Fawzi in the game. He's also one of our seniors, and according to coach, no one has to get Tony psyched and ready to play. He's an outstanding outside defender, always ready to play. He marks the opponent's top player, and he has a great winning attitude. And again, Tony, good luck to you, and thank you for being part of the Bears soccer tradition.
East Brunswick doing a nice job in possession here. You're seeing them able to really space out well. There's a lot of open green out there for them to take advantage of, and just well organized. And that's why they're able to generate so many chances. Just maintaining a good shape throughout the game so far.
Well, that's good that they came out and they look like they stayed with their game plan, and we're not panicking here. Nice ball there, getting it through.
I think that's Brandsdorfer on the ball out there on the flank.
You can see that far, huh?
Barely. And I'm taking half a guess there, but it's a 5 or a 6, and I think 5's on this side. South Brunswick able to counterattack, and this is what they're doing. They're serving the ball to the one player who is high, or the one or two players that they have high, and then they try to hold the ball or play it back as 4 or 5 then join the attack. So that's really the theory or the shape idea behind the counterattack. And Rob had a little tough time with that ball. The ball kind of stuck to his feet a little bit as he tried to play that off to the side, and wound up losing the ball and yielding a foul a few moments later. Oh, dangerous ball here. Zach had that covered, though. Very athletic, acrobatic, saving attempt, but the shot was safely above the crossbar.
What do we got, another sub here?
I think this is Morgan re-entering, number 3, Mike Morgan, coming back into the game.
As we're
have
a little break here. How about Brian Kersner? Brian is also one of our seniors. What an outstanding person and family Brian is. And he's got a lethal left foot, according to coach. He's very versatile. Plays the midfield and the forward fuzz, and again, very important part of this Bear team. Brian, it's been a pleasure watching you develop as a player and as a person, and best of luck to you.
Have an East Brunswick player, I think, leaving for an injury.
There's our Mr. Hosser right down there on top of it. Yeah, I like the way we coach. I like the way we keep applying pressure. Eventually, I think what we're going to do is, like you did this game against them senior night here, exploded for 2 or 3 goals. I have a feeling the Bears are going to do that.
Yeah, and what I like here too, it's an organized pressure. It's not a frantic pressure. They're maintaining their discipline. They're spaced wide. You don't see too many players running to the ball. There's a nice shape to their attack. Of course, here's a dangerous counterattack moment.
Oh boy.
Very dangerous.
Oh boy.
Zach Stahl really did a nice job forcing the attacking player to shoot the ball before he was able to get the ball down to his foot in a comfortable position. By Zach doing that, by coming out full speed and pressing that ball, he's able to create a forced or a rushed shot. And really, that was the only thing that saved the goal right there.
Yeah, that's a tough call on the goalie, huh? You have to
Sure.
make that decision, a split second, and
We had an opportunity in the girls' game today where Monica Farag had a breakaway from about 35 yards away, and it was just perhaps the slowest breakaway I've ever seen because the whole world seemed to freeze as she and the goalie came on, and the goalie stayed back and allowed Monica her choice of where to lay that ball, and of course she finished at home. And I think what you see Zach do right there, comes out, challenges the ball, forces the shooter to play the ball before he wants to. And there you go.
Right.
And it's still 1-0 game, really, as a result of a fine decision by a goalkeeper.
is there anything as being too aggressive in goal?
Well, sure. I mean, they're at that moment when he makes that choice, what he has to realize is there's no defender who can still have an impact on this play, and that's what makes that final decision. If his defender is still running shoulder to shoulder and can still influence a shot or shape the shot, in other words, if the defender's on his shoulder and can take away half his goal by applying pressure to that one side, the goalkeeper's got to hang in there and try to defend the shot because his defender's doing his job. But once he's free and clear, once he's in space and the defense isn't doing anything for you, that's where you have to take it into your own hands.
Right. Looks like we got a couple Bears warming up there. Number 8, number 9. That's Merkel, I believe. Number 8.
Jeremy Merkel is 8. Raphael Smith is 9.
Two other juniors. You think coach is recognizing maybe the team's tired and he's getting some new guys in, or?
Yeah, I mean that could very well be the case, and you're looking. And he could also be slightly adjusting his shape now, playing. We're 12 minutes into the second half now, so now we're inside 30 minutes to play, where he now perhaps makes an attacking adjustment and looks to either put on a forward for a midfielder or to put on a midfielder for a defender and look to adjust his shape, at least with an eye toward developing even more pressure. We haven't seen those. In the first half, we saw many opportunities in front of the South Brunswick net. We haven't seen that so far in the second half. That could be a factor of South Brunswick defending much more so as well. So I'm sure Coach McGibbon's trying to find something to create that chance that's going to tie this game. Here's a dangerous counterattack. For a moment, they have 3 forward.
Oh,
and I tell you, he's onside too.
Oh, boy.
Zach, this is a tough moment for Zach. And that is into the back of the net. And that was tough. The goalkeeper really kind of hung out to dry on that. And you could see the counterattack build. A 3-on-2 really developed from midfield.
Yeah, well, counterattack, I guess that's his philosophy there, Coach. He seems to do that often. Well, as the Bears regroup here, and they're down 2-0, let me tell you about Brad Reiner. Brad's a 3-year starter for the Bears. He has the ability to control the ball and distribute it to his Bear attackers. He's created many goals for the Bears, and he is a real intense player out there. He's a fine young man, and a special thanks from me to his dad, Mr. Reiner, for all he's done to help the booster clubs. So thank you, Mr. Reiner, and congratulations and good luck, Brad. So that makes it 2-0 with 27 minutes left to go in the game. Seems like the Bears picked up the intensity a little bit here, only 2 or 3 minutes in. Maybe that sense of urgency has come out.
And I think both those fresh faces that you mentioned have both entered the game now too, so hoping to introduce a spark here as we near 25 minutes to play.
Right. What do we got here? They have a...
It's a throw. Yeah, going to be a throw-in for South Brunswick here. We're going to see that, probably that long thrower again. And as you can see, the South Brunswick players are kind of lining up toward the far post there, so setting up this long throw-in. well defensed by
throw.
Zach Stahl, well defensed there, and got up above both his own players and the attacking players to punch that ball out. You saw a handball then on the back end of it against South Brunswick.
Right. Matt Farag, one of our other seniors, has a tremendous work ethic, according to coach, and his winning attitude were the keys to Matt's leap into the varsity role this year. He's worked hard all summer to improve his game, and has been a solid defensive player all season. Matthew, good luck, and thank you for representing East Brunswick with class in all you do.
Now we're going to see East Brunswick with a dangerous throw-in, perhaps, down near the South Brunswick goal area. Doesn't look like they're setting up a long throw here. It looks more like they're setting up an organization.
We have 25 minutes left. Coach, plenty of time, right?
Oh, sure.
And
sure.
I think Coach McKibben was saying last time, when it's a 2-0 game, you get that 2-1 goal. That's a very important goal, make it 2-1, because the pressure sometimes seems to be on the defensive team.
Sure, the next goal, if there is one, is perhaps the most important goal in soccer, because the 3-0 lead perhaps essentially ends the game. Few teams have ever come back from a 3-0. At a high level of soccer, few can come back from 3-0 down. But if you in this case East Brunswick, to get that next goal, a 2-1 game really restarts the game at that point.
Right. Well,
and then you're in for a 20 minutes, a real 20-minute finish where anything can happen. You're going to get a corner kick here, so maybe East Brunswick on a set piece can get a finish here.
I correct myself, I didn't mean the defensive team, but the team that's winning may be on their heels a little bit. So we've got a corner here with 24 to go. Coach, is that it?
Headed out of the goal. I'm telling you what, that ball was on its way. It had beaten the keeper. It was over the goalkeeper's outstretched arms, and the South Brunswick defender actually headed it out off the line. I mean, just the kind of luck that East Brunswick has just played into during most of this game right there.
Yep. We haven't been very lucky this year, but we've been persistent, and good things will happen. We had a nice throw in here.
And there it is. There's a goal.
Okay, that makes it 2-1. And
that's the goal we talked about.
Right.
You know, that 2-1 goal really restarts this game at this moment. And it was the guy we've talked a bunch about, number 3, who's so strong in the air. That's Mike Morgan.
Well, Mike had a couple of key goals we talked about before at the end of regulation. All right. So, hey, that's now we're on our way. Brian Chiosi, another senior. Brian, fastest are Brian's 3 gears. Going on the Bears, and probably a few players in the state can match his foot speed. Add to that excellent ball skills, you have a very dangerous attacking defender and midfielder. Brian, on behalf of the East Brunswick Athletic Department, congratulations and good luck to you. So that goal was scored with 23 minutes remaining, and it seemed to have picked up the crowd a little bit, and looks like we have a little sense of urgency out there for the players.
The assist on the East Brunswick goal credited to number 8, Jeremy Merkel.
Coach, I wasn't able to see who scored the goal, but I know that Jeremy Merkel had the assist, one of our juniors. Who had the goal?
The goal is by number 3, Morgan, again in the air. Mike Morgan, who we've talked about a bunch actually earlier in the telecast. We were talking about his
so
strength
that was
in the air.
confirmed it was him?
Yes, I believe it was.
All right, good. So let's see if the Bears can keep this momentum going here.
Now, that goal really gives you life now, because now you know, hey, we can score here. Here's your chance. Well saved by the goalkeeper.
Boy, that's tough coming out there.
And you know you're going to get struck there. You have a defender, and I tell you, the defender may have been banged up a little bit on that.
Yep. Okay, let me mention some of the other team members. We have Evan Bransdorfer, Jr. Evan, outstanding athlete, and we'd also like to thank his father for everything he does for the Booster Club, the Big Booster Club, and in particular the Soccer Booster Club. Thank you. Chris Fawzy's a junior. Chris Hajar is a junior. Jerry Merkel, we just mentioned him. He's a junior. Travis McCall is a junior. Raphael Smith, junior. Zach Stahl, we talked about often. Sophomore, and a freshman, Josh Alvarez. And for a freshman to play varsity soccer at any Group 4 school is quite an accomplishment. But at East Brunswick, it may be a little bit more. So we're expecting a lot of good things from Josh.
I think the goal we were talking about, that third goal theory, I think that really, talking about that confidence-wise, East Brunswick now know, I mean, they had to be feeling a little snake-bitten heading into scoring that goal. To have so many chances in the first half, a few nice opportunities, including the ball headed out of the goal mouth a few moments ago by South Brunswick, had to perhaps make you feel, hey, maybe this isn't our night to score. Well, I'll tell you, now you get that one goal and you say, hey, it's not impossible. It will go in. You know, let's play harder. Let's get that next chance. Let's win the next ball, and it'll go, and we'll be able to get ourselves right back into this game. And that's where they're right here, and they've had, you know, the slightly sad part is they've had the better of play for most of the game.
That's what I thought.
And you do credit South Brunswick for maintaining its counterattacking shape and being able to do that. You're gonna have a foul call here, I believe. No, they don't give a foul.
Corner. We got a corner.
No, I think he's gonna. Yeah, I think he just kind of spun off his outside of his foot. I thought you may have gotten a foul drawn there by Bransdorfer.
Coach says we got a break here. Would you just mention our senior managers and what senior managers mean to a team? You've been a head coach for many years.
Sure. I mean, they're invaluable. Our senior manager is Mina Mowad, and we also have a Maggie Sharabim, who's a senior. Also, not to leave this out, their student trainer, Victoria McLean, works very hard. But a manager has a lot of responsibilities, and I know in our team, it can be anything from helping organize, laying out the field, the cones in the field for drills, making sure there are enough pennies and balls in the places where we need them during practice. They really, serve. When you have a great manager, they really serve as an extra coach, an assistant coach, in helping make sure everything gets done in a timely manner. And
they seem never to get the credit they deserve. But so we just want to mention thank you to those young ladies for helping us out.
Sure. Once again, that was Mina Mowad and Maggie Sharabim.
Thank you, girls, and good luck to you.
And actually, I think Mina is a boy. He's was one of the ones I was talking to before. So.
Right. He's a good man.
Yep, he is. Good guy, and actually helped me out at halftime when I was looking for the scores and stuff. So I appreciate that.
Actually,
and helped me with all the pronunciations.
Here we go. Here we go.
There's
Here we
it.
go.
Boy, I tell you, East Brunswick had another wonderful chance, and I'm going to credit that South Brunswick goalkeeper on that play. That was Chris D'Souza with a left arm, really just parrying that ball outside.
Here we go.
And there's the goal. There's the equalizer. Corey Diamond with a driven ball from, I would say, 35 yards away, left-footed driven ball, and to hit that ball without letting it get too high, without having it, slide off goal. He hit that ball with no spin, driven into the back of the net. As pretty a goal as you can see right there.
Right. And as the TV shows you, it makes it 2-2 with about 18 minutes to go. So hopefully the Bears are going to keep it going, keep that intensity going and that sense of urgency. Down there, we've seen our cheerleaders, we've heard our cheerleaders. Let me just make mention of our outstanding All-American Sam Angeline, Lindsay Catarzi, co-captain Cara Kendall, All-American Ilian Rosada, and All-American Lisa Tucci. Congratulations, girl, for All-American. And to our other co-captain, Michelle Lanzano. Thank you, girls. I would be remiss if we didn't mention our other members that have varsity cheerleading. That's Jessica Conover, freshman Brittany Ferrone, Lindsay Katz. We got Valerie Capel, Carly Pavlicek, Brittany Scholes, Lucy Toto, and Melinda Toto. Nicole Ward, Madeline Wichell, and Katie Wolverton. Congratulations, girls. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
See two refs getting together there for a moment, trying to
I'd rather have them do that to
sure.
figure it out, Coach, than make that ego call because you made the call.
Right. Yeah, we had one early in our game today where the ref actually ran from his position all the way to the midfield to check with the other ref about a corner kick call. And you know, a corner kick is a big moment in a soccer game. It can equal, you know, you'd rather take the extra second. They take the extra second, and just make sure, even if it's not what you saw, at least that they both agree that they saw the same thing.
Right. I'm just amazed at the athletic ability of these young men out here on both sides. They're running, they're jumping, they're running backwards. But I guess they've been doing that a long time, so it just keeps everything going well for them. Just adds to their skill.
You have a substitution entering for East Brunswick here. This is number 11, Brad Reiner, back into the game.
That goal certainly woke up the crowd, and this beautiful night here at J. Doyle Field. If you're just joining us, it's a Red Division matchup, senior night for East Brunswick.
Here's another dangerous attack here. And a foul. Should be. Oh,
bingo.
Never mind.
Bingo.
Oh! Corey with that left foot again just sailed wide of the goal. But I'll tell you, East Brunswick has now found something that's working down the middle of the field. They've been very dangerous attacking, really right at the heart. In the first half, they were attacking more of the flank and serving crossing balls. Here we've seen in this last 5 minutes going right down the heart of the South Brunswick defense and really finding open shots.
That may have been an adjustment coach made after that second goal that they scored.
Yeah,
but there's 14 minutes to go, approximately 14 minutes, and it's a 2-2 game here. Boy, we got some nice determination in there by that young man.
Sure, they were
the ball.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, 2 or 3 defenders that he really worked his way. That was Brett Handelman, who 2 or 3 defenders nearly took that ball away, and he just kept going forward. Yeah, you see South Brunswick, you know, and again, playing a little on their heels now, driving balls out of bounds, trying to take some of the pressure off of themselves. Because East Brunswick's, you know, the pressure has really increased. And here, you know, here's another chance with Rob Campos on the ball. And he's able to win a corner kick. Yeah, very nicely done.
It's about 13 to go. That's a corner kick for the Bears.
I think it's Handelman on to take the set piece.
Oh.
Headed down nicely. I tell you, Corey Diamond has really taken control here of the second half, really playing with a lot of passion and a lot of heart.
Well, I had a talk with him after one of the games, and I said to him, we got to keep our heads up. Well, this is after winning a couple close games. I said, we're good, We just got to keep shooting. And he said, yes, I know. And so he's passionate about the game of soccer. And I think he's one of those leaders out there by his actions. Somebody down. The clock will stop when we get a chance here, but again, if you see the clock on the TV, it's just because it's unofficial up here. Well, we got a break in the action, Coach. We got the GMC seeding coming up next Monday. This is a very important game for the boys, but let's give some talk to the girls. Where do you see yourself? 1, 2, 3?
Well, with the win today, clinching the Red Division Championship, probably sets us up to be either the number 1 or the number 2 seed. We have a game scheduled on Saturday with the champion of the White Division, which is Woodbridge. So I think that game goes a long way to determining the first or second seed for the tournament.
Right, I agree.
But I tell you, I don't know how much that specific seed would matter. I think you have the opportunity to play every team that you're seeded with and against on the field, and I think that you're able to erase seeds that you don't agree with, and you're able to defend seeds that you do agree with, and I think it's just a way of picking your opponents, and perhaps nothing more than that. There is honor, there is prestige as being the number 1 seed, but
there's also that pressure.
Sure, yeah, and we've had years in softball where we were the number 1 seed and not won, and we've had years when we were the number 7 seed and did win. Right. So there's a lot to be said about that.
And that's got to do with the Red Division too. That's very competitive, and you got to come to play every night.
Definitely.
Okay, so we're back in the game here. We're about 11 minutes to go. 2-2, and the Bears continue to apply pressure.
You're going to see Campos here setting up the throw-in, and now we're getting close to those last 10 minutes of the half, which is where South Brunswick was dangerous at the end of the first half. But I tell you, the play now and more importantly, perhaps the confidence has swung in the favor of East Brunswick. You do have to beware of the quick counterattack, though, and that's what South Brunswick's attempting to build here.
Good play coming up there by the defender. Who is that? Can't see that far, Coach.
Yeah, I couldn't see as well. My eyes were back here. There was a foul called against East Brunswick on a tough little play. I mean, two players going hard for the ball, and fouls will happen there in the middle of the field. And now in the last 10 minutes, every one of these becomes very dangerous. And you see you've got about 14 players across the field here as they serve this ball in. And it's a bunch of 1v1 battles. 2 guys going up for the ball. Who's going to out-jump and who's going to win the ball? And, you try to practice those and create that environment as much as you can in a practice situation. But when there's 10 minutes to go in a 2-2 game, it's a unique circumstance.
A lot of it's got to do with conditioning, too, that extra little jump there. I mean, we look like we're in good shape. I don't see anyone holding their knees, bending over, and it's a pretty fast-paced game. So hopefully that'll pay off for us at the last 10 minutes of this game.
Another difference I see right here is when East Brunswick is able to take the ball away from South Brunswick, they're able to maintain possession. Like Corey there dispossessed his South Brunswick opponent, and he carried the ball upfield 15 or 20 yards, maintaining possession. I feel like a lot of times here as South Brunswick's defending, they're just kind of, knocking the ball forward and hoping to get onto it. I just think that another way that East Brunswick has been able to control the ball and control the play. You see a definite energy level both on the field and in the crowd has picked up here as both teams fight for that what could prove to be the winning goal, this next goal.
You're right about Corey, boy. He is really taking it to him here.
And look at
Nice
that. That's
cross.
well played. And I saw him sneak a peek up right before he served that cross. He snuck a peek in there, and he saw what he had. He realized his angle was quickly disappearing, and he tried to sneak his eyes up there, see if he had a player running in, and nearly connected on the far post with the runner.
But he certainly got the ball over there. Just wish we had a couple more guys in the crease. Nice little serve there. Good thought. It's about 8 remaining.
I like to watch who wins these, gets first to the ball on these goal kicks, because I think that determines which. I mean, you hear South Brunswick has a goal kick, but the ball now winds up right back in their goal area very quickly.
Well,
and that's just a more aggressive team right now in East Brunswick.
Every possession is so important, you know. You never know what possession is going to be the one that makes that score.
Sure, and it's sometimes perhaps what seems like the smallest thing, winning a throw-in a dangerous place, winning a corner kick.
Hey.
Yeah, see, that was built off a throw-in from probably 40 yards, or perhaps just near midfield. We got, a nice job getting on the other end of it. You have a corner kick on the other end, and this could be that game-winning goal.
We got about 7 to go. We're taking a corner there. I think that's number 12 taking the corner.
I think it is too. Handelman has taken several of the corners tonight, so I would imagine that it's still him there. He's in the back corner of the field. See 5 Campos joining the play late. Let's see if the ball comes through to him. It does not, but East Brunswick again still in possession of the ball. And there's no one from South Brunswick anywhere near midfield right now.
Right.
Well, here's their
love
counter
that
attempt.
counter.
And 2-player slip.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this can be dangerous, but I think 15.
Oh boy.
And he let them play on.
Good save, Zach. Good
boy, Zach Stahl.
Defensive hustle over there by, I'll get your name in a minute. Was that number 3?
I think it was Morgan, again.
Or 13, nope, 3.
Boy, I tell you, Zach came up huge on that save.
That was a nice little flurry, little excitement there, huh?
Yeah, and that was, we were just, I was just saying that South Brunswick doesn't have anybody near midfield, and before you know it, they have 3 players running at the goal there. And really, talking about one small moment, 2 players slipped on that. A South Brunswick player slipped and an East Brunswick player slipped, and the ball just happened to roll against the South Brunswick kid. And here you have end-to-end action.
Cross.
There it is.
Bingo!
Ooh, nearly. Boy, I tell you.
Look at hustle there by Corey.
And a great rolling serve across the box by Bransdorfer. I think it was Campos. Yeah, it was Campos who just missed the sliding attempt. But here's another chance in the middle. Boy, East Brunswick is just pouring players into the South Brunswick box. Here's another chance on the flick header. And there it is. There's the finish by Bransdorfer. And nobody's offside on this one. Nobody at all.
Well, their coach has got a question. I mean, not their coach, their goalie. I'm not sure what.
Yes, several players.
What that's about now. Who was that goal again, Coach? I'm all excited.
Bransdorfer. I think it was Bransdorfer on the finish.
Good job.
And he's given a little fist bump here. Evan.
Now we got about 5 to go. Now we got to get that clock to move. That makes it 3-2 Bears. Our guess is about 5 minutes to go. That sure woke up the crowd here. Senior night here. Hopefully the Bears can hold on for a few more minutes and win this very important Red Division game. All right, Coach, you're up. It's about, let's say, 5 to go, maybe 4:30. Do you change your philosophy right now as a coach? Do you start kicking the ball out of bounds? Do you put someone back on defense? What do you do? Or do you just stay
Now, usually what I do is I just make sure the mentality. Now, you just watch every player get into the box here because South Brunswick has this great thrower, and we've seen this a few different times. I'll wait till we see this play in a moment before I answer that. Dangerous throw here by South Brunswick. I think it was parried out by Zach Stahl again, punching that ball.
That out.
Yep. But really what I would want to make sure my team does, without changing the shape, and sometimes you make adjustments to your shape, but without changing your shape, you just make sure the mentality of your team, perhaps your midfielders who are prone to go forward and back, you just make sure they have a slightly more defensive mentality. You can pinch your outside midfielders in a little bit to control that space.
Now it looks like South Brunswick here's got a sense of urgency.
I'll tell you, that player may have been in an offside position.
Oh, boy.
Wow, Zach Stahl with
the kid
another,
kicked him in the head.
And I tell you what,
kicked him in the head.
The referee is stopping the game, and he is going to give a caution to the South Brunswick player.
I'm not sure if that was intentional.
No, and I think, I tell you, it was so late in the play that I think he saw the ball. And I don't really, I think he got him on the arm or the wrist. And I think maybe some intent, but not intent to injure, more intent to, man, I hope that ball would have come loose already. You know, just frustration perhaps more than anything else.
But why wouldn't that player go over there and tap him on the butt, though? Or is that not
I don't
appropriate
know.
for soccer?
Well, you would see that sometime, but you never know if the goalie might turn around and take offense to the fact that he's coming back, you know, not realizing it. So sometimes that staying away in that situation, you know, he realized he's on his way off the field anyway because of the caution, because it's a cautionable offense. So he has to spend at least the next whistle until the next whistle on sub chance off on the sideline.
Well, my guess is about 3 to go.
Yeah, and there could be even a little less. There's been some.
How about subbing at this time, Coach, to take some time off the clock, or is that kind of bush?
You don't really want to use that as in order to do that. I mean, if you're going to sub in order to gain an advantage, to gain a situation, we're going to do that. But for the most part, and a referee, if you're persistently subbing, will stop every single time. He'll stop the clock for every sub. So I don't know how much you actually gain from that.
Right, now look at Brad taking his time here.
Yeah.
Now,
if I was, and that's part of the game.
If I was the coach on the other team, I'd be screaming.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's not forced to play that any faster. And honestly, what you have to do if you're South Brunswick at this moment is not play a ball out of bounds, is not foul, because you don't want to give them the opportunity to serve a ball here. Now, here with the ball being out off East Brunswick, they can choose how quickly they put this ball in play. And now you see the East Brunswick shape is much more defensive at the, appropriately so at this time.
Now,
10 players behind the ball.
Long kick the ball down there to get it out, or will they try to maintain possession?
Well, I was going to say not at that moment because you only had one. Ooh, this is an interesting call. The call, which everybody on both teams seemed to be backing up, seeming as if it were going to be in favor of East Brunswick. The referee pointed the other direction, so South Brunswick will get a kick. But now you're going to see a long service into the box.
Oh, that is a nice little kick there. Well, actually, you shouldn't say look. Little. So the time is running out. I see the ref looking at his clock, so it's got to be running down.
Sure, you're very, very late in the half in the game right now, and what a fantastic comeback if they can hold. Well, regardless of what happens, what a fantastic comeback to be down 2-0, and after a first half of complete domination by East Brunswick, to go into your little locker room down 1-0. Then to be down 2-0 and really not to give up. I mean, I think Coach McGibbon, confidence-wise, keeping confidence, and the play of Corey Diamond, who really, I think, elevated his level, played faster than everyone else in the field, really looked faster than everybody in the field.
All right, what we can't do is start celebrating here. We got to pay attention because...
Yeah, the big throw is coming from number 10.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but a ball win by East Brunswick. East Brunswick's so good in the air.
You got to be offside there. I called that one.
About 4 players offside. By the way, that was number 3 again in the air, Mike Morgan, with that defensive clearing header. Every one of those buys 30 seconds off the clock. Every time he can, play that ball out of trouble. And right now you're in the waning moments here of the ball game.
Well, again, I want to thank the cheerleaders for their outstanding job. Coach Brady, thank you for helping out. And the cheerleaders never get that due recognition, but I think you're the best in the county, and we appreciate everything you do, you and cheerleaders and Coach Perduto.
Yeah, I think we had several even mentioned with the All-American honors received, right? I saw that in the on the board today. All right, you're going to see the long throw in again. Can East Brunswick have enough for one more good defensive stand here? Can they win one more defensive header?
Coach, you're making me nervous.
Well, that's, you know, the miracle of TV here. There it is, 14. Not all. Oh, now this is going to be really dangerous with the corner, yeah. And that was well defensed by East Brunswick, just slightly unfortunate.
Now, he won't call the game here on the corner.
Oh, yes, you will in high school.
Yes,
you will. Yep. It's a clock. It's what we'd call a hard clock. Yeah, there is no injury time necessarily. You know, all injuries have to be motion. If you see the ref going to his wristwatch, he has to note every time he stops the clock. And if you notice in tournament play, a lot of times there's a third official with the clock sitting at the at midfield off on a little table.
Oh, go to the ball.
Got to be careful of an obstruction there, but well played, cleanly played. There's a push perhaps on South Brunswick, but not called in these last few seconds.
Right. Well, that's good.
Yeah, sure. You're as long as they're not, you know, gaining advantage.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, but I tell you, that one was called. Well, we're going to see that same ball that they played last time, that left-footed driven ball into the box. We're looking for Zach, who's been very active in this second half. It's going to be a shorter ball.
Somebody there, please.
South Brunswick still has a chance, but Corey's on him defensively, and that's it.
That's it, Coach.
That whistle does it. What an impressive victory.
Coach McKibben and the Bears, senior Bears, congratulations, a nice win. Capacity crowd here at East Brunswick. I'd say, Coach, we got about 200 or 300 people here.
Yeah, great crowd.
A lot of celebrities in the crowd. Coach McKibben's wife, father-in-law, a lot of the old-time soccer people there. And
saw girls soccer star Melissa Demko popping her head up a couple times. So yeah, lots of celebrities.
It's great them supporting one another. I do like that. Well, Coach, that could give us a number. Well, we have to win Friday, but that helps us out with a seed, possibly a number 2 seed, second place in the red division. Not number 2 seed, but second place in the red division. So it certainly helps our chances in the future. So give me a little recap of the game. I was very impressed with the comeback, down 2-0 in the last, what was it, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I think maybe even 18. I mean, I think, and that's where you just see the amount of soccer these Brunswick kids have played, the fact that they recognize and understand that a 2-0 lead with 20 minutes left doesn't mean a game is over. I think the coach stayed positive with them, the team stayed positive with each other, and gave themselves a chance to win this game. You know, they deserve to be better than down 2-0 when it happened, and I think that it ended the way it should have based on all of the early chances of the game.
Okay, well, I'll give one more thank you to our seniors, Rob, Corey, Brett, Naru, Brian, Matt, Femi, Tony, Brian, Michael, Brad, Mina, and Maggie, and certainly Victoria. Thank you for your support of East Brunswick Athletics and everything you do. And that'll be it for now. That's Frank Noppenberger and Kevin Brady saying thank you for supporting the Bears, and hope to see you at our next athletic event. And go Bears.